Hello there everyone, welcome to another great video game ideas not used video, GVGNU for short. As always, I'm Andre and it is a pleasure to share my thoughts with you. Now, I'm not going to rage, I'm not going to be angry, I'm not going to yell and scream, I'm just going to make my point, try to do this as quickly as possible. But there's some illogical things that float around when it comes to Nintendo and third-party games that people don't buy on the console, or just more or less don't get purchased. They don't really meet the quota that the companies want them to meet on this console. And there's a reason for this, and I can explain it very much thoroughly without being rude, without being disrespectful, and it is very quick and easy to understand. The bigger three third-party companies out there, which are Activision, EA, and Ubisoft at the moment, they've done some really crappy things in the past, and not only to Nintendo, they've done it literally across the board. And people are still in favor of supporting them no matter what they do, which is, to me, kind of like a problem. Take, for instance, Need for Speed. The last Need for Speed game that came out, that was on Xbox One, PS4, PC. The PC version of that game was gimped in comparison to the PS4 version of the game, which ran better. It was just a better quality game for the PS4. Should that necessarily have happened? I mean, I can understand if you have a PC that isn't quite as capable as the PS4, but for those who had PCs that like obliterated the PS4 as far as specs, that game ran far worse. And then there is Ubisoft with Watch Dogs. I mean, we all remember those first glimpses, I think at E3 2012, and I was so excited for that game. Now I kind of care less. Not even just because of the visuals, but because the concept, the way they explained it, I expected more to be possible with the game, and it falls short of that from what I've seen and from what I've heard. I mean, I still have to play it myself to give a final definition of my own thoughts, but from what I've gathered through information, the game is not as good as it was promised to be. It was overhyped. It had great marketing, but the game itself was just not quite what it was supposed to be. And that's across all platforms, but it was really damaging to it that they completely gimped the PC version of that game, where the settings were literally left in the code, but they were completely disabled. So hackers had to go in and find that code and enable it in order to get that look on PC. And yet people are still supporting this. Then what about the whole Dead Space 3 microtransaction fiasco with EA? They screwed everyone over, and people still bought the game. Probably not as many as would have, as far as I know, because I haven't really looked up the numbers on it, but people still bought it. I mean, yeah, I can understand people did buy into it because of the prior two games. That really couldn't, honestly, I think that really couldn't be avoided, because the series up to that point had been outstanding, and I think number 3 kind of was the drop. It was the same thing that kind of happened with Mass Effect 3, with those multicolored ending sequence. I mean, because it didn't really change a whole lot. Like, your decisions didn't change a whole lot. It was the final decision that made everything, and people didn't really like that. So EA had to fix that problem. Oh, Battlefield 4. Completely buggy game when it came out. And from what I've heard, it's still buggy. I mean, I personally was never really interested in Battlefield, so I'm not here to bash it. I'm just saying these are problems that are apparent with it, highly apparent problems. But people still buy them on these other platforms, and they continue these not so good practices. Since I'm trying to be nice, but logically speaking, that's why Nintendo gamers are not purchasing the products that come out to the system, even if they're on other platforms and they are great and amazing on those platforms. They're not necessarily of the same quality when they're put on the Nintendo platform. And if you play both of them, you'll see that. And I saw this with Batman Arkham City. Even though I prefer Arkham City Armored Edition on the Wii U to Arkham City on the not 3DS, wow, Xbox 360, the game ran much better on the 360. It did. There are times where it slows down in the Wii U game, the Wii U port of the game, that you wouldn't see that at all in the Xbox 360 one. And I know that because I've played it. I actually borrowed my brother's version of the game. I ended up giving it back to him once I got Armored Edition for the Wii U, because I literally purposefully held out on buying that game on my 360 so I could get it on the Wii U, because I wanted to get the extra features and be able to play it that way. I could have cared less if the DLC was available, but at the same time, I appreciate that it was there and that it's included in the package. I don't have to pay for it separately. It's a part of the package. and I'll give EA this. They did a great job on Need for Speed Wanted You, and that game should have sold better than it did. But people don't trust EA, like especially Nintendo games. We see that you're screwing over everybody. We're not going to get it, and that's the as much as I commend them on actually putting a good faith effort into that game. Their prior history made people kind of skeptical, so they have to build back that trust. That's something that has to happen, and I can't say that Nintendo isn't at fault somewhere in this, because they should have held the companies accountable for bringing quality products to their platform. I mean, they can't quality control everything, but if you come to find out that an inferior product, like not inferior in a way where it has to be inferior because of technical limitations, but inferior in the sense that just not enough was done to make it be on par with the other ones, then they should have stepped in and went talking to them and be like, look, we want to build the fan base with you guys. We want you to build your fan bases here, but we'd also like you to respect our customers. They could have done that. They could have done that. That's something that Nintendo could have done. They can't fix the problem themselves, but they can at least initiate conversation and say, hey, look, our customers would like these products. They would like to see them to their fullest potential on this platform in any conceivable way that you can make that possible. And they would also like to be equally treated. That is something Nintendo can do. That's something they haven't done. But at the same time, I can't expect them to just go do it. It's not their games. But I really would like if they would just like go talk to these companies just to, like, say, hey, look, this is all they're expecting is the same quality. Same quality is basically it. If you put a game on Xbox 360 and you port that version of the game, because that's what many of the ports are, they're Xbox 360 ports, because it is so simple to port from the 360 to the Wii U due to the architecture. The similarity in the architecture, anyway. Why can't they just make sure it runs optimally? Even if you don't necessarily work on giving me gamepad features, if the game runs optimally, I'd be happy. I'd be fine with that. I just don't want a game that's going to be buggy on this console if it's not buggy on that one, or I don't want it to have a severe frame rate drop on this console if it doesn't have it on that one, and this one being the technically inferior console, I wouldn't want that. And that's why I'm in full support of the company that made this game, Platinum. I am in full support of Platinum because they make amazing games. Even though this is an exclusive Nintendo title, Platinum puts in their effort. They put quality work into their games. Even back when they were was it Clover Studios working for Capcom, they have always put quality into their games. They have always done it. That's why I've always respected them. That's why I've always enjoyed their games. And just so you know, I'm not being a fanboy when I say this. Buy Bayonetta 2. On Jamie Butterworth's video, I came up with the hashtag Bayonetta to a million, and I'm gonna put that down on this video. Bayonetta to a million. Bayonetta to a million. And I'm saying that because, yes, I bought this game brand new because I support the company that puts out quality products. And they are porting from this version of the game to make the Bayonetta 1 Ultimate Edition. I don't know if they're calling it that, but I think it's been dubbed that by fans. The Bayonetta Ultimate Edition is going to be running better than it was on the 360 because the console is capable of doing that, and it will, which they didn't have to do this, but there's additional content within the game, and that is that's with them doing a quick 360 port. Like, it doesn't have to take a long time to do a quality port. They just have to make sure that the thing runs optimally. And that's what Platinum is proving. So, support third parties who bring quality. Support third parties that bring quality games to you. At least as far as Nintendo fans, not even Nintendo fans. Every gamer out there. Support third-party games that bring quality to you, that don't gimp on one system or another, that don't take out features on one system or another, that don't blame the fan base on one system or another for not purchasing the product. That's really all I got to say. So, hashtag Operation Platinum and hashtag Bayonetta to a million. That's all I'm saying. Support the quality. Even, and I'm gonna say this, even though this is probably contradictory to my own personal beliefs. But if you have interest, and you are a Wii U owner, you have interest in a title, and you know it is of a decent quality, like Need for Speed Most Wanted U is, or Rayman Legends. But Rayman Legends wasn't even a port because it was originally built for the Wii U. But if you know these are quality third-party games and you are interested in them, please go get them. Get them. Play them. Enjoy them. I mean, yeah, Ubisoft's practices, EA's practices, I dislike them, but at the same time, I'm not going to deny the quality product. The quality product. Now, the crappy ones, I'll cast them offside in a heartbeat, but the quality products, the ones that have good ideas, that are at least look like an attempt to do something good with what they have, what's available to them, I say support those. And only reason I'm saying it's contradictory to me is because the whole Ubisoft issue and me not really wanting to support Ubisoft right now. I mean, EA, at least once they decided not to do anything, they kind of just shut up outside of that stupid little April Fool's joke that was done by a team within EA. They need to better manage how they let their social media get out there like that. But That's different from having the president of a company basically tell you, we don't make enough money because we don't make enough money with you, even with the crap we give you. So, fuck it. That's basically how that comes off to me. Now, like I said, I was doing that to keep it respectful. I just wanted to give some examples. Heck, even Capcom, as much as I've loved their games, they have treated PC gamers like crap. Especially with the latest Dead Rising game. When that got ported to PC, they treated that like crap, and I really personally dislike that they did that. And that's why I, as a person, would like more gamers overall to be able to get quality products rather than paying for the same crap over and over and over again that actually has no quality control, like literally little to no quality control. But that's my final word on that. So again, hashtag Operation Platinum and hashtag Bayonetta to a minute. Thank you very much for watching. Keep your eyes and ears up for more of my stuff. And until the next time, please enjoy your game.